What is feed-in tariff? It's a change on electricity being designed to support renewable energy production. So the feed-in tariff is a payment for electricity feed into the supply from a renewable energy source such as wind or solar panel. Feed can be mandated or by the government or offered voluntary by an electricity retailer. Renewable Energy Act of 2008 RA 9513 encourage development of renewable energy resources in the country, which is minimize the country exposure to price fluctuation in the international markets as as tools of effectively prevent or reduce harmful emission and thereby balance the goals of economic growth and development with the protection of health and environment. The purpose of feed-in tariff to accelerate development of emerging RA resources through a fixed tariff mechanism. So, which is because feed-in tariff provision would provide renewable energy generator with a guaranteed market and guaranteed price for their power. The promulgation of rules and mechanism. Energy Regulatory Commission or ERC is in consultation with the National Renewable Energy Board, which is NREB. Feed coverage emerging RSs, which is the biomass, solar, wind, and hydro plants. The mechanics and guidelines. Feed rules from ERC Resolution number 16 series of 2010 and later amended through ERC Resolution number 15 series of 2012. Fit all guidelines or guidelines on the collection of the feed-in tariff allowance or fit all and disbursement of the fit all fund ERC Resolution number 24 series of 2013. So RA Payment Agreement or REPA or RE Supply Arrangement RISA. The approved feed rates in 2012 when it's applicable for 20 years. The biomass feed rate is 6.63 pesos per kilowatt hour with the capacity of 250 megawatts. The solar plants feed rate is 9.68 pesos per kilowatt hour with the capacity of 50 megawatts. When the wind power plants is 8.53 pesos per kilowatt. This illustration is feed-in tariff and market rate, which is the color yellow is the feed differential pesos per kilowatt hour, and then the green color is the market rate pesos per kilowatt hour. Feed-in tariff allowance or fit-all represent the difference between the price level and the prevailing market price. Cost recovery rate or CRR plus other components will be changed to all end user as uniform pesos per kilowatt hour charge. Then the last fit approval. The encirculated number is the fit all rate approval since year 2017 filled December 1, 2016. This chart is the Fit All Fund Administration signed Renewable Energy Payment Agreement or REPA as of This is the chart of RE generation since 2015 to 2018. Note that these data do not reflect energy reflection in 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018 that have not actually been billed one at a time billing of backlog per REPA. Potentially fit digital RE plants have not been granted or have just been granted fit COC to date but have earlier COD. This is the pie graph of the payable status of each plant. Assumption or considerations. A for 2019 feed rates, aggregation and adjustment due to inflation and forex were considered in accordance with the feed rules. B. Degrees rates were assumed for biomass and hydro plants under feed extension. C. As a rule, projected generation forecasts provided by RA generators were used, but if non-DOA forecasts were used, or if RA projection were perceived to be too high, then DOA forecast. A. 2018 estimated under recoveries were included in the determination of 2019 fit all. F. 2015 to 2018 unbilled fit differential were included in the 2019 fit all computation in accordance with section 4.5 of the RA payment agreement backlog billing. G. NRB recommended formula for factor rate from the 2014-2015 fit-all application was used in the computation of WCA with update. This is the formula getting the fit-all rate. Fit-all rate is equals to fit differential or FD plus working capital allowance or WCA plus administration allowance or EA plus disbursement allowance or DA over forecast national sales or FNS. Forecast annual national sales kilowatt hour. This is the formula finding the CAGR or compounded annual growth rate, which is compounded annual growth rate is equals to value final over value beginning to the power of 1 over time final minus time beginning minus 1. So CAGR is the mean annual growth rate of an investment over a specified period of time than of 1 year. Fate differential. Finding the fate differential is equal to total fate revenue or forecast annual RE generation times fate rate minus forecast recovery revenue or forecast annual RA generation times CRR rate plus over or under recovery.
So I'm Dairon Telia. This is my part of report for Presenter 12. This is the continuation of the report of my partner Chupilo Briso. So uh, continuation. So continuation we have the solar solar power plants that is projected and eligible plants for 2019. So there are uh, 23 solar without COE and 24 in total with COE solar power plants. So they have the capacity factor total of they have the from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So the wind power plants that is eligible and projected within tariff plants, they have a 7 from Luzon to Visayas. There's no wind power plant in Mindanao. So as you can see, there's no Mindanao grid. So forecast annual generation megawatt hour. So for the biomass, hydropower, solar, and wind power plants, there are total of 16,716,235 megawatt hour from 2012 to 2020. So adjusted feed in tariff rate pesos per kilowatt hour. This is the formula for the adjustment formula: Z times RCPI over RCPI O plus YX FEA and over FAAO assumptions samples. Forecast recovery rate. So for the months, this example, we have the total average of 3.3 and 3.22. So pesos per kilowatt hour. So these are the just like the LICO, the electric cooperative from all over the Philippines. So mostly use blended generation cost pesos per kilowatt hour. This is the weighted average generation cost. These are the one for electric cooperatives. With differential, feed in tariff differential and the recovery in pesos. So this is the formula: feed differential, total revenue, forecast annual RE times feed rate, forecast revenue recovery of CRR plus over or under recovery. So for this example, the pesos per kilowatt hour is 0.0415. So feed differential also. This is the generation from 2012 to 2019. So the average all or total is 0.2445 pesos per kilowatt hour. So this is the formula for working capital allowance in pesos. So this is it. So in order to get the forecast annual payout from the formula for working capital allowance, we have the forecast cost recovery revenue or FCRR, fit differential, administrative allowance, and disbursement allowance. So to get the forecast annual payout in this example, we have the 31,207,084,607. So to get the factor rate, so it's a formula for factor rate. So in order to get the factor rate, annual payout divided by the total annual payout ratio, X factor rate and weighted factor rate. So the effective factor rate is 9.3937%. Ending balance for working capital allowance, ending balance pesos. So this is it, the formula: forecast annual payout T plus 2 factor rate minus WCA ending balance. So in this example, we have the negative one, but the note here: working capital allowance negative ending balance is proposed to be not included in the 2019 FITOL calculation to be absorbed by computed 2019 WCA. So according to the note, the balance is not included in computation because it is negative. It's automatic. So for this, another example for WCA, and this is a new example for the administration allowance. So in pesos again, personal center. In order to get the administration allowance, you have to have a personal services, maintenance, and other operating expenses, capex if possible, total administration allowance pesos. So administration allowance per kilowatt hour, so 0.002. So disbursement allowance. So in order to have the disbursement allowance, you have to have a fixed trustee fee, 60K per month. Base fees provision fee, monthly fund balance with 1/28 of 1% of the average, so RTGS fee. So the estimated trustee fee, so divided by the 1, so you have the disbursement allowance of 0.00001 pesos per kilowatt hour. So this is the summary of the 2019 feed-in tariff allowance rate application. So this is a 2019, so we have the 0.2780 pesos per kilowatt hour. So very small, but for many consumer it will gain big. So impact of fit all allowance rate to end consumers. So for fit differential, for the consumer who have consuming 100 kilowatt hour per month, they have the 24. So see, for the 200 kilowatt hour per month, you have the 48 pesos for the WCA. So total fit all components, for the 100 consuming kilowatt hour, we have the 27.80 pesos, and for the 200 kilowatt hour consumer, we have the 55.59. So, updated calculation. So as of 2018, September 2018, this is now the status for the solar, wind, biomass, hydro. So we have the total megawatt hour of 1205.28. That's the end of my presentation. So thank you.